Hi everyone, I'm Ephraim. I'm here with Ritu, one of my good friends from the Amazon community. And today's topic, we're going to discuss the craziness of fees that's happening in the Amazon world. Part of it is placement fees, lower level fees, and Amazon increasing their storage fees and all that. But the question is, how are we going to get over this, past this? And part of that is really managing your PPC really well. So the topic would be, what's the best strategy to use your PPC with all these new fees, and how to maneuver and how get over your challenges, come over your challenges, and be able to be profitable and successful on Amazon. So it's
Yeah, thank you so much, Ephraim. Yeah, I'm so, happy to have this conversation with you because it is so important and timely for, your listeners as well as ours. So we run an agency, PPC agency, and so there's many new things that, Amazon keeps throwing at us, and this is probably the latest one that has really left everybody's heads reeling because, there's already very tight margins. It's like a pressure cooker situation, and now Amazon goes and adds even more to that. And so the level of anxiety is up, and the pressure on us to kind of deliver profitable sales and profitable growth is higher than ever before. So obviously this topic touches us, even though we're not the ones recommending or advising our clients on what to do exactly with their stock situation, but we know kind of where PPC plays its role, and I'm happy to discuss some of those ideas with you today, Efram.
great. Happy to do so. And basically, 100%, there's the combination of so many different fees, but every single service that you have in the Amazon community is adds to the bottom line, right? Or subtracts, right? So in your field, you're a PPC guru, you know this in your sleep, how PPC works and everything, how Amazon works with all these changes. What do you recommend, and how do you help your current clients getting over this new fees, and how to change course, or do they have to change course, or are there any new ways how to do PPC management now with all these new additional fees?
Yeah, so I think, this goes back to just basic principles or first principles, understanding what your 80/20 of products is. Like, not all products are going to be your best sellers. There's always going to be some that drag you down. So I think now more than ever before, you want to find those that drag you down and have a different kind of focus on them, and try to get them moving faster, or, to a healthy kind of run rate, or liquidate them, EOL them, things like that. So if you don't do that now, it's going to keep building up. Like, all the pressures of low inventory is going to pinch you and hurt you in the long run. So first, I would just do analysis of performance by SKU. And, you can do it through your business reports. You can look at it and analyze what's going on. You can also do it through your ad reports. In your campaign manager, there's a section called products, and you can actually see the kind of breakdown of which products are performing at what levels. You can do that analysis through there. But probably the best way to find this out is to look at a trend analysis, which means you want this data to be in some sort of time series format, so that you can look over the month over month trend. Is this product trending down? Is it trending up? Or is it just remaining flat with a little bit of variation month to month? You want to identify what the prospects of your product are, and that's just basics. It's like any business would do that, but this is a good reminder. It's a good reminder to not pin your hopes on kind of slow products, and you want to take action on them either through PPC or through other actions like coupons or deals, etc., to get them moving fast. So I would say, in terms of PPC strategies, do like a run rate analysis, trying to figure out like what is the minimum run rate you need per product in order to be in the sweet spot, and not hitting high storage fee or low storage fee, or even a
Right.
placement fee would be hard, especially when your number of cases is limited, so you'll have to be paying that money. So do a run rate analysis would be the first step. Second thing I would say is do a conversion rate analysis also, because the rate at which products convert is highly correlated with the sales velocity. And so if you can get your conversion rate up, and then you can send paid traffic to those pages, then you can improve the run rate of your products as well. And then the third thing to check is your tacos, of course, doing the math right. And you might want to invest in some sort of spreadsheet tool right now to actually take stock of every cost that goes into selling and know your real bottom line so that you're not fooling yourself and so that you're not continuing to be hopeful that PPC will save you. It may not, so having that clear-headed approach to the situation is probably what you need. Yeah, that would be my focus.
Yeah, and I've also seen in a couple of scenarios where like used to be sellers used to do like removal orders from Amazon. Oh, it's not selling so well anymore, let me remove it. But removals became so expensive. So what they're doing right now is basically actually turning on their PPC or doing like a coupon or a deal or something like that to flush it out that way. Regardless, they're losing money on it because if they do a removal order and then they liquidate it, they're losing money anyway. So they might as well do it the simplest way of just moving the product. So it's interesting in saying that, because I've seen it myself too a couple of times where they did the analyzation. It's like, makes no sense, because if it's bulky, heavy, large items, the removal order is very expensive. And then just doing a good deal on it and selling it that way, it's probably going to be some more money to your pocket.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. Yeah.
How can sellers use their PPC campaign data to better predict demand for their products? Is there any way they could do that?
Yeah, so I think the demand for products needs to be a month over month analysis, which means you shouldn't be just looking at snapshots of data and saying, this month I did X. That doesn't mean much. It has to be minimum 3 months of data for you to draw a line, right? 2 points is not enough. One is absolutely not good. So you need 3 data points in order to draw a straight line to see whether it's going up or going down. So I would say, doing a month over month analysis with your SQP data, for example, will be able to give you some idea of like with your strong keywords, are you going up? Are you going down? So those sorts of analyses are important to do at this point. Second thing you can check is your brand metrics data, which is something that sits inside Campaign Manager, and it tells you how you compare against your competitors, right? Your category. If you're not doing as good as your category and you're doing actually worse, then you got to do something about changing that trajectory, right? So understanding everything the way it is super important. And then all kinds of anomaly detection that you can do month over month would be useful. For example, if your, let's say, campaigns, the campaign month over month trend of certain campaigns over certain other campaigns is showing a downward trend, then, take quick action on that and try to recover it, for example. Or let's say your top keywords that you're ranking for are losing rank, month over month. Then again, quickly go in and try to fix that with, like a push so that you don't lose your ground. In, these days, even getting visibility with an ad is hard. Forget about organic ranking. Even with ads showing up on the top of page is getting harder and harder because there's so much competition from China and they have their ways, right, of getting there. So we're competing on an uneven playing field,
Right.
and that's the truth. We're at a disadvantage from many angles, and now Amazon is also putting us at a greater disadvantage. So your PPC needs to be completely nailed down. Like, you need to be very, very cognizant of where the waste is. You need to be aware of like how to get the best converting products up higher, how to get the best converting keywords, do even better, and then be brutal about the stuff that's not working, because we tend to hang on to junk for too long, and it's just market is squeezing us now, and we have to be even more particular about getting all the junk and the time spenders or the drag downs out of the way, and just focus on what's actually working and protect your ground there.
Yeah, I remember the first time I used Amazon PPC tool right when that came out. It was just, it's like you put on the seatbelt and you start driving. That's what it was. I think we spent pennies, like $18, $20, and then brought us $1,000 of sales. And that's completely, again, it's changed over the years. Like you said, like there's so many obstacles right now that's really not helping the situation where even you're spending that money, you're not even getting on the front page or the top page. So that's something that you have to always keep in mind and always be on top of, basically. Not, like you said, snapshot. It's more like consistently looking at the trends, looking at what's happening.
Yes.
Is there any way PPC could help prevent like stock outs or helpless situations of having too much stock? Like, no, we touched a little bit on it, but if your inventory, how much you have? Is there a way how to control that with your PPC?
Yeah, so I think okay, so there's two situations. One where you have too much stock, one where you have, a stock out situation that's about to happen. So in the case of too much stock, you're trying to move it and it's, just not moving. Most people look to tentpole days like Prime Day or some event that can move more inventory and try to get things out of the way. That may be fine if your conversion rate is already good. Then you can kind of use those events and get things moving faster.
Right.
But if your conversion rate sucks, like it's horrible from the start, then even those events I've seen don't give you much visibility. Like I've tried to liquidate on those events by putting deep discounts, by doing prime exclusive deals, et cetera, et cetera. It just doesn't help that much, right? So I would say be aware of when inventory buildup starts to happen, like being aware of now it's getting out of hand. Like in your head, you probably need a threshold where this is too much inventory. It should not be like this. And that's when you aggressively work on reducing your prices, adding deals, doing deal stacking. Deal stacking is this concept where you can have more than one type of deal at the same time. So it makes your offer look even better than your competitors. So let's say you have a prime exclusive deal and you have a coupon and you have a strike-through price to show that you're discounting it, etc. Well, that has a different impact than something that just has a coupon. So deal stacking is another way of like moving it, but you need to do it at a very basically early enough, like not when your buildup is so large that you can't do anything about it. Your timing of starting those deals needs to be much earlier. And the second thing you want to do is, a lot of Chinese sellers do this already. They do monthly kind of is essential kind of flash sales, like every 2 weeks they'll do some sort of deal. So building in deals into your playbook, like otherwise you're just at the mercy of organic or PPC. You actually need more boost than just those two.
Just those.
So yeah, you keep adding deals to the mix so that keeps the run rate going up. So again, knowing what your run rate should be and trying not to go below that. The moment it crosses over to below, then you need to do some deals and you need to get inventory out so that you don't build up to a point where it's point of no return.
Well, my question is, does Amazon's algorithm see that? Let's say if you do a stackable campaign, means they do a couple of promotions every once in a while just to move your inventory properly. Does Amazon see that? Does PPC tool of Amazon realize that you're really trying to use their platform really well, so they push it stronger? Or is just the point is like, don't overbuild an inventory, and if you do, don't just decide from 1 second to the next you're going to do everything, because it doesn't work that way. Deals go gradually. How does that work?
We've always seen an improvement in BSR right after a deal. Like always, there's such a strong correlation. You can use any of those tools out there to see that in your data. You can use Keepa, you can use Helium 10, anything else. It clearly shows that when you run deals, you improve your conversion rate and you improve your BSR. That's what we need, essentially. Those are two positive signals that will help you. Now, how much they help you, nobody can say. It's impossible for anyone to answer that question. But we also know the opposite, which is when you start to slow down, when your BSR starts to kind of go up in numbers, then it's almost like impossible to kind of bring it back to healthy levels. It's just going out of your hand faster than you can bring it back down. So don't let it go to that stage. Keep bringing it back to almost the same kind of band where you are at all times. Keeping an eye on BSR would be important. And then I also wanted to mention that when you have low stock, the other problem starts to happen. If you have less than, let's say, 21 units of a product, it's just a number I've made up, but I'm just saying, if you have too few units left, then Amazon doesn't bother. They don't bother with giving you the impressions. And so PPC also starts to not work as efficiently. So again, too much, too little, both are bad, both for PPC and for your business as a whole. So actually, there's no room for those extremes anymore. You've got to always be focused on like the healthy middle band, which is cruising along, maybe slightly improving month over month. That's the sweet spot where you need to constantly be. And if anything is not in that band, it needs to go, just putting it very brutally. If your product is not playing out in that middle band, then it's got to go. Somehow or the other, you've got to make it go away.
Understood. So now we're beginning of May. That means Prime Day is coming up soon. So I know it's a drop early, but for me, at my end, logistically, it's not early at all. I mean, people are already talking about it. They're planning, they're ordering, they're importing. But on your end, what would be your advice this year? It's an interesting year with the new fees and everything. Not everybody could afford these crazy promotions, but everybody wants a boost. So
Yeah.
what's your advice this year for sellers?
It's certainly different from previous years, because previous years, we obviously talked about profitability, and we know that CPCs skyrocket during Prime Day. We also know that we get a lot of traffic and we get a lot of like impressions and clicks, but our conversion rates drop during Prime Day because everybody is looking for a good deal. They're going to compare, they're going to click, they're going to spend your money. And so we were advocating for people who are not running deep discounts to opt out of PPC during those days. So why is Prime Day, why does it even exist? It is for deals. Amazon has defined it as the day or days when you get the best deals possible. So that's
Right.
the mindset with which people are coming into Prime Day. So if you don't have deep discounts, if you don't have deals that make people excited, they will go to someone else and there's hundreds of copycats or lookalikes of your product that they will opt in for if they just find even $1 cheaper. Why would they spend the time to read your listing and see why you got 4.3 stars versus them at 4.2 stars? So those differences are less important than price in people's eyes because they're only coming for the deals. So if you have deals, then Prime Day is your time to kind of, push it and
Right.
keep healthy stocks, make that your priority. If you don't have any deals running, so far we've been saying, hey, just opt out of Prime Day, just don't advertise on those 2 days. In fact, we bring our budgets down or turn ads off for those SKUs that are not participating with at least 30% discount. But this year, the difference is that everybody is stuck in that situation where they're boxed in. They have to take some actions to move the slow ones and then not reorder if that's the
Right.
decision, like don't reorder something that's not working. So unfortunately, the way it's turned out, Prime Day, you probably will have to do deals as much as you can, and that will be a bloodbath and there will be higher
Right.
CPCs, but your chances of moving inventory are probably going to be higher this year because everybody's going to be,
It's survival this year. Last year was profitability. This year it's survival.
Exactly. I like that. Yeah, that's the way you.
Any special offers to viewers that see our recording, our video with PPC Ninja?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're an agency. We do advertising for 7, 8 figure brands. If you have at least 10K in monthly ad spend, we're happy to do a free audit, a PPC audit for your audience. And we also have a chance to do a face-to-face call after that, which is kind of a bonus. So you can actually get those recommendations from us, even if you're working with another agency or if you have your own in-house solution. We're happy to kind of do an audit for free.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ritu. It was really, really
Absolutely.
great speaking with you. It's always good to
Likewise.
hear your words of wisdom on PPC. You know your stuff really well, and that's what everybody talks about you. And looking forward to put it out there and share it with
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you so
Thank
much. We'll see you at one of the conferences, Ephraim. Take care. Bye.